Peace and blessings to the chosen, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstones. Salutations to the Akim, pushing this truth with sincerity and charity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. And I'm thinking of titling this the Spelunkers, right? And I really want to go in on the note that Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is just a very wild man. And I want to use the Spelunking as an example. Is this is some far out stuff. Like, this some shit that Jake don't do. And if it seemed like it's Jake, like, even here, this probably just a chocolate covered Edomite. Like, this is the spirit of Esau written all over. Who would want to be in this? Like, why would you want to be in a place that gets tighter and tighter the deeper you go into it? You see what I'm saying? And there's so many reports of people being unalived by getting trapped in this situation because there's so many hazards. But Esau, Edom, he's proud. So, Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus 3:26, a stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. Right. And they out here trying to get a thrill seek. They like to skydive, right? Venture into caves and caverns, because Esau doesn't have a limit. With nature, he doesn't have a limit. These are the same people that discovered that a beaver's butthole tastes like vanilla. They're the reason that turtles have herpes, right? Have somehow attracted it. Why? Because what Job say in the first verse, if I get it in this one, he made it clear when he was talking about the wicked, and that's who Esau, Edom is, the self-proclaimed white people, right? Just Job 30. Verse 1 of Job 30, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would disdain to have set with the dogs of my flock. Why would he have kept his dogs away from his flock? Because this is the nation mostly known for, having sexual relations with animals. They venture off into things that you wouldn't think to venture off in. So I call this video the Spelunkers, right? And there's been cases where these people have been unalived because they got trapped in there and suffocated to death. There are cases where they've been unalive because they some animal or creature got to them, or it was toxic acid, a gas that choked them out. And that's just a list of judgment in itself. Like, that don't include all the other things Edom gets into. And it further goes on to say that of course, back then when they were even in Mount Seir, and even when they were the wild men driven into the caves, right? It says verse 4, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief, right? So they it's a time that nations would chase them out and push them away because nobody wanted to be around these devils, and a lot of these devils are getting pushed out of certain countries in the world, especially the chief tribe of Edom being Amalek, the self-proclaimed Jewish people, right, who have no biblical ties to the true Israelites, which are the Native Americans, the Negroes, and the Latinos today, right? And then you have here, it says in verse 6, to dwell in the cliff and of the valleys, in caves of the earth and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under nestles they were gathered together. So this is when they were like cavemen, which wasn't that long ago, really. Time flies by fast. This wasn't that long ago in the dark ages when the nation of Edom, and that's why they said, well, it's so easy a caveman can do it. They were the Neanderthals. They were the cavemen. Until the Lord, the bases of men, right? The Lord gave knowledge to the bases of men. Let me see, set up. I'm gonna get this verse. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth power to whosoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So this man is the lowest, like the most primitive, weakest of men, the weakest link, right? Because all he's good for is destruction and death, and it says even in verse 8, they were children of fools, children of base men. They were violent in the earth, yeah. And it says, now I am their song, I am their byword. So now they mock us, right? With that, we was kings and shit. Like, they mock us, right? They have proverbs about us, and their bywords about us, their songs, right? And the Lord gave these people power to set up a great example. For one, the race not to the swift, like it's written. So, it wasn't really about power, but the Most High set up who's in power at the time. And in due time, he gonna set up over the world someone that's worthy of being leadership over the world. Not these devils, right? Let me get a last precept and then call it. It says, Habakkuk 2:5, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Hey man, this devil can't stay at home. These devils got embassies all over the world to watch you, right? To watch you, right? Because they not content, right, with who they are, And Edom was given the blessing of the sword. He was blessed with violence. So, of course, he has the best tanks, submarines, fighter jets, helicopters. Of course, he had, because it was his blessing given by the Most High, right? Through Isaac. But, he's also insatiable, and he's childish, and that's his hatred towards Jacob, the true Israelites today. Why he continues to follow us around the earth. He's obsessed with us. He can't live without oppressing us. He can't live without putting us in his prisons, in his traps, in his systems, whether it be child support courts, alimonies, anything to keep us down. Anytime we rise up and make a Black Wall Street, a so-called a well-to-do city on our own, this man drops a bomb on it. He goes in and massacres and kills it and calls it a race riot when it was a massacre, right? He slaughters children and women and unarmed men and calls it a war when it's really a genocide. What you think they doing in Palestine today? Nevertheless, I'm going to continue this verse. It says, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. And where is the all people and all nations today? Here in modern day Babylon, Mystery Babylon, Rome 2.0, Egypt and Sodom, spiritually known, US of A. United States of America, USA, under Satan's authority. Who is that physical carnal Satan today? Esau, Edom. Because there's a spiritual Satan and there's a physical Satan. And he is that devil. I'm going to end it there. Hopefully it was edifying. Shalom.